What's going on, everybody? So I want to thank you all for coming back and watching another episode on my YouTube channel or podcast, whichever way that you're looking at it. Now, before we get into the episode, I want to just let you all know that I own a graphic design agency. So if you need any type of graphic design services, whether it's a logo, animation, illustration, I don't know, we can put you in an hour-long cartoon and have, I don't know, the Incredibles running around everywhere. Like, it really doesn't even matter. So we can do any and everything. So if you need any graphic design services, reach out to me. You can click the link down below in the description and get 20% off your first order. Now we can get into the episode. Peace. Thank you for watching. So what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the What I Would Do show by For The Winners. And as you all know, my name is Nate. I'm the owner of ForTheWinners.com. And we are back with another episode of What I Would Do. So if you don't know what this show is all about, maybe it's your first time listening to the podcast or watching the YouTube episode of it. This show is just like you just sitting down with a friend and they're giving you an educated opinion on whatever it is they have going on. So say if you have like an issue that's going on in your life or in your business, and you got a friend that owns a business, and you just hit them up like, hey, what would you do in this situation? And then that's what this show is all about. So it's not expert advice. This is just what I would do. And me, as you all know, if I don't know something, I will literally say, I don't know. So I don't act like I know anything. If I literally don't know, I would say, I do not know. All right. So with that being said, one second. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, we have a guest on today. He is an e-com guy. He has scaled his e-commerce businesses to over 6 figures more than twice, or was it 2 or 3 times, I think? Yeah. And pretty much he has a question for me. His name is Dontez. So yeah, bro, first and foremost, introduce yourself and then, ask whatever question you got.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Dontez Akram. I appreciate my boy Nate for the opportunity to come on this show and just kind of talk to you guys about some things that I would do, and same ask questions for him and what he would do as well. But I've scaled 2 of my e-commerce stores to over 6 figures. I also have a third stream of income that's over 6 figures as well, which is selling courses. So if you guys want to get into e-commerce, if you want to learn how to hold inventory, drop ship, whatever it may be in the e-commerce field, even running Facebook ads, check out my courses that I have available on my Instagram and my Twitter. You can check out my Instagram _TheRealTez and my Twitter at Dontez Akram. I drop gems daily. Nate is still my mentor right now. He still helps me get through some of the things that I have issues with and whatnot. So I'm definitely appreciative of him. But yeah, man, let's just get into it.
Let's get it, bro. So what's your question?
So actually, now that I think about it, how can I word this? So I'm getting ready to move into the fulfillment center, part of my progress, right? Or part of my businesses. And this is like where most of business is automated, right? Do you think most of my time should be spent towards advertising or marketing, like the different types of marketing of content?
Are you asking me, should you put more effort? So when you say marketing and content, you mean like making, I don't know, like literally like this show, like creating like this show and then you making something, you know what I mean? That's what you mean?
Yeah, I mean like just like content, like strategizing content, like so basically like more reels, more photo shoots, more, doing stuff with, influencers and stuff like that, or should I do the Facebook ads route?
In my opinion, you need both. You need both. Because like where the content marketing portion comes into play, that stuff is what keeps your retention up. Like Facebook ads is cool for getting that first customer, but then it's like, how am I going to get this person to keep buying again and again and again? Like, right. So you literally need both. And that's the problem that I've seen like with other of my friends who have e-com businesses is like, majority of their efforts is put into really put into Facebook advertising or just paid ads like in general. And then, but the customer retention is low because they're not putting any effort into the branding and content marketing side. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would say I would say honestly, you really need both. I would just say you're just all a part of you really just finding that balance. Because even when you're running ads, it's not like you sitting there and hawking the ads all day, every day. So like in between those, those spaces of you getting sales, like that's where the content marketing and stuff comes into play. Because it's like you already know, like you don't be sitting there and literally just watching your ad. You know what I'm saying? Like like every second of the day. So like you literally need both. And then it's as far as like where a lot of people miss out at is they don't understand like the importance of like brand and like where brand can really get you. Like and that's this is a big reason why so many like sales driven like organizations are shifting to like doing more like more branding activity. Because like, say for example, just to bring it down a notch for people who may be watching this, and so they'll understand like the impact of having a great brand. When I started my agency, like I didn't have enough money to pay a videographer, like not a videographer, a video editor, or a social media manager. I didn't have enough money to pay neither of those people. Honestly, I still don't have enough money to pay both of those people full time. So all I did was tweet it out one day, like I was just like, "Hey, I don't have enough money to pay a video editor and a social media manager." Pretty much ask people, do they want to work for me for free? Right. I got so many messages of people trying to volunteer to work and do this stuff for me for free. I even got a dude that works for Viacom. Like, and Viacom is like over those big television networks and stuff like that, like BT and all of that stuff. So he doesn't even need the money, but he's volunteering to like work for me for free. Of course, I'm gonna pay him because I'm not an asshole, you know what I mean? But he still volunteered volunteered to work for me for free. The reason why he did that is because I put time and effort in the brand building activity, you know what I mean? And content. And like those are, and just from that small example right there, you can see the effects of you actually building a brand. You know what I mean? Building a brand versus you just focusing on sales. And then also another thing with people who doing stuff with Facebook ads, Facebook is so fucking unpredictable. They can just suspend your fucking ad account at any moment, like just on some bullshit. So like, then what are you going to do when your ads are, where you got to work on getting your ad account back up? Like, what are you going to do in that time span? You know what I'm saying? Now imagine you didn't put any effort into any brand building activity. Mm-hmm. Now you pretty much fucked. So it's like, you really need both. Like, so that's personally what I would do.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that because, me and you both went through that trouble of like ad accounts getting disabled, restricted.
My shit is still suspended. I didn't even bother with them anymore. I say, you know what, just fuck you at this point. I just went and I just did something else. And then that's been working 10 times better than Facebook ads. So,
man, I actually my friend let me use his ad account. So I'm back up and running on my ads. Right now I'm averaging like around 150 followers, 200 followers a day on my personal page. And I haven't really been messing with, the Facebook ads as much recently from my brands, just because, like I said, I'm transitioning from holding inventory to, fulfillment centers. So now I feel like that's going to give me a lot more time to focus on branding and focus on that content. Because for a period of time, I think I went like 7 or 8 months without any ads. And what I realized throughout that 7 or 8 months is, one, don't ever rely on no company that we have no ownership of to give you money, or not to give you money, but to just basically let you slide on certain things. And what I mean by that is restricting your accounts over dumb shit and having no control over that. I feel like a lot of people were reliable on that, and I was one of them. So throughout that 7-8 month span without no ads, I figured out like, all right, this is how I should go about content. This is how I should go about branding. And this is how I should go about photo shoots and video shoots and all of these different things, which has helped me, significantly. So yeah, don't ever rely on Facebook ads, man. They'll let you down every time, like every single time.
Mm-hmm. That's facts, bro. That's facts. So as far as your content strategy, what's your whole approach with that?
So my main focus right now is, becoming a chameleon to the game. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of stuff on social media right now, and there's a lot of trending topics. right? 6ix9ine is one of those trending topics, you know what I mean? And just making content that has to do with what what you're doing, but still based in some type of some of that portion of that trending topic inside of it is what I've been doing. So mainly just looking at TikTok, looking at other people's reels. You know, Prince Donnell is one of the big people for me who I look at as far as like inspiration and trying to strive towards to be like, you know, his content and the strategies that he have. Like every single day I see he posts either 2 or 3 reels. So what I started doing was, all right, he's posting 2 to 3. Now I need to come up with my own topics and my own type of content so I can post maybe 2 or 3, because if it's working for him, 9 times out of 10, it could work for me. You know what I mean? Even though he has a way bigger audience size, my audience isn't small. You know what I mean? And that's why I think most people should realize is like, even if you have 2, 3, 4,000 followers, you can still get good engagement. You don't have to have 100,000 followers. You know what I mean? So that's been my main focus on content, is just watching the trendy stuff, you know, looking at Prince Donnell, you know, another good one is Aristotle Investments, you know, different type of people who are making a bunch of different content. And I use that as inspiration for me to create my own type of content. And from there, you know, creativity will kick in after a couple of weeks. So, you know, once I start, you know, really focusing in on what they're doing, then, you know, some point in time, I'm gonna come up with my own type of idea, and it's gonna be different in its own way to where people gonna copy off me. And that's just kind of
people have trouble creating ideas. Have you ran into that issue?
I have. And that was actually crazy, because that was what I had asked you. Because I'll be seeing Nate and he be posting like so much content. I'd be like, how the fuck does he even come up with it? Like with most of these topics and stuff. And I ran into that problem too, where I was just like, man, I can't figure out what I want to talk about or what type of reel I should do. So what I did was like, now I kind of figured it out, where I put everything on my notes. And I actually just bought 2 more whiteboards yesterday. So I have a strategy board. And with that strategy board, I put down the topics that I talk about throughout my posts. So wealth, you know, e-commerce, you know, being fit, traveling, all of those different things are in my topic board. So what I do is from there, I ask myself different questions from each one of these different topics every single day that'll branch off into different types of content that I can post on Instagram. So if I do this once per topic, then I should have a week's worth of content for just from doing that one day.
Let me ask you this though, because I feel like it's an easier way to do this. Now me, I post like 12 times per day. Mm-hmm. And the way that I'm able to do this, so like how many times do you tweet on Twitter?
Less than 10 times a day, probably.
On average, how many times do you tweet?
Probably like 8 or 9.
That's 8 or 9 videos.
Right.
So tweets are video scripts. So this is what I tell people, and this is why I'm able to just talk about so much shit. So like, number one, if you have Twitter, you're at an advantage over a lot of people, because when you tweet on Twitter, a lot of times you tweet in that one thing that's at the top of your head, and it's just like, oh, this is some fire shit to put out. And it's like less thought, and you just put it out, right? Yeah. And most people are tweeting like 5 to 10 times per day, if not more. Mm-hmm. So what I do is, all I do is take all of my tweets from the day before and just get on camera and then say them on video. Number one. So boom, now I have 8 or 9 videos that I can just make a reel and a TikTok out of right there. Right. So boom, now you at damn near double the amount of content that you did already put out. Like, you know, from the past week's prior, and there's nothing but you using your tweets as video scripts. So like, boom, so like that's number one. Secondly, is like a thing that a lot of people don't really do is they don't use their followers as content. So like me, it's very rare that I create anything. Like I use my followers as my content. So for example, the reason why I made this show is because, you know, people be getting mad when people DM them questions and shit all the time on social media. Yeah. And they be like, this person feeling entitled to my, you know what I'm saying? They feel entitled. You ever heard somebody say that shit? Mm-hmm. Like, me, I figured out a hack. Me, I don't care. I want you to ask me questions, because then I'm just tell you, all right, come on to What I Would Do show, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about for 30 whole minutes. And then I'm gonna just chop that up, and then it's like 7 clips in the whole thing, and now I got another 7 pieces of content for that week. And and my followers just created it for me because they just asked me a question. So like off of this show right here, I got like 60 episodes of this show. Like And it's just from people asking me fucking questions. I'm like, all right, if you really want this question answered, then come on my show. Now I'm providing you value and you giving me value as well, because I can put this out. And then, it's number one, going to help other people. And then, number two, it's going to make me money, because I'm just putting shit out and people going to see it. They're going to hit me up, blah, blah, blah. Boom. So like, first, use your tweets as content. That's going to be 8 or 9 videos like off top. Because you tweet every day, and never use your tweets from the day of. Just use the tweets from the day before. Because then, you know what I mean? Because during the day, that's when you racking up your tweets, your video scripts. And then the next day, you putting them out. Then as far as your followers, allow your followers to ask you questions. Like, allow your followers to ask you questions. Tell them that your DM is open all the time, because that's just giving you content without you even having to try. So boom, you can even make a separate account called Dontez Questions. And then your followers can DM that one account right there. And then that right there is your content. Like, they just making the content for you, and you don't even got to do shit. They just actually, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also it's valuable because, it's an actual question that a lot of people may have. So like, number two is just using your followers as content. That right there is freaking major. And then number three is pretty much like what you already been doing, is just like vlogging, like doing like a lot of vlogging. Like if you can vlog, then like shit will come easy, because it's a lot of stuff that you do like throughout your day. You know what I'm saying? So like, even like this thing right here, I'll send this to you. Like, this is like a part of your day right here. And you can chop this up and say, yo, I just was on this podcast today, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a lot of things going on throughout your day that people are actually interested in seeing, but you just feel like it's not even that important. But like, believe it or not, like, people are interested in seeing that shit. Like, for example, like some of my best content right now is just me working out. And I post it like every day, but that's some of my best material. And I felt like before, like, nobody would even give a fuck about me even doing that. But then I just started, I'm like, you know what? Let me just vlog this shit and just see like what happened. And I put it out, and it's some of my best material. So like, saying that to say those 3 things. Number one, using your tweets as scripts. That'll give you 8 videos. And then up until this point, you haven't been doing that. So like, you can just go back a whole year and just look at all of your tweets from a whole year and just go on a fucking Reels and TikTok rampage and just start saying all of them bitches. You can knock out, if you really sat there, look, you went to your Twitter analytics, look at the top performing tweets, and just sat there for like a good hour, and just, you can knock out like 30 videos. Like, it's not that hard, bro. Like, but using your tweets as videos, bro. Secondly is like using reverse engineering your followers. So like, allow them, make a separate account, Dontez Questions. Get any questions you want answered for free. People go there and they DM a question, and then you can even when they DM a question, you can post a question. You could post the question as well, like, post them and make that the post on the page. But then, like I said, you're using those questions as video content. Boom. So right there, using your followers as content. And then the last thing, which you've already been doing, is the fucking vlogging. Right. And like, the things that you think like aren't really that cool, or like really aren't that important, or like don't seem as if people would really be interested in it, you never know. Like, you really just have to fucking try. Like, like, it'd be the most boring shit that you ever like, you know what I'm saying? But when you put it out, people will really be interested in that shit, and it's fucking weird. But like, bro. So like, those 3 things right there, and that shit don't even require, not to go on a rant, but like, those things don't even require any type of creativity either. You're not even creating anything. Yeah, like, that's true. Like, I don't create shit. Like, I just do those 3 things right there. I don't create anything. If I genuinely want to create something, I'll probably do that like once or twice throughout the week. You know what I mean? And it'll be like some type of long form, like YouTube video or something. But like, other than that, bro, those 3 things right there, you can be putting out 20 to 30 pieces of content per day across all your social media platforms without even trying.
That's smart. So I'm gonna just do that then. I mean, get my content board and just write out all of the different ones that I want for today. And then I could just take maybe the best 2 or 3, use that for the day, and then keep doing that every single day and take the ones from yesterday and just keep it going. So, hey, that's a gem right there, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro. But other than that, bro, you got any more questions for me?
No, I think that was the last one I had for real. Just, getting that the content figured out. Because like I said, I'm gonna have a lot more free time on my hands. So definitely got to be, working on ways to, use it correctly. And that's what I can say. A lot of business owners right now, man, like you get caught up in the business life and you get caught up in the business world that you forget that you got a real life. And once that time is taken off your shoulders and that weight is taken off your shoulders, you start realizing, wow, I have a lot of time actually. So now let me figure out how I'm going to use it to best give me the best results for the future. You know what I mean? So, man, that was my last question, man. I appreciate everything, bro, for real.
Big bet, bro. So thank you for coming on. And you all, that is another episode of What I Would Do. I hope you all enjoyed it. Peace.